Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. And to my new subscribers, welcome you guys, because I can see we are not at the same point where we were when we posted the last video. So welcome. And to the people who are sharing my link, I want to appreciate you guys because I can see you, and thank you so much. So today we are talking about lifestyle changes, because when we are embarking on new paths in our life, don't necessarily have to be spiritual. There are certain things that we have got to do, and those we have got to stop doing. For instance, somebody who may embark or focus in an area of their life, let's say financial area, and they want to grow in that area, there are certain things that they would have to change and stop doing, and other things that they would have to start doing in order to see and grow in that area. Now, that principle is not any different when it comes to spirituality. However, the difference is that with spirituality, the lifestyle changes you make touch every area in your life and not just one point. And because remember, we already established that we are spiritual beings, and when we are participating in doing spiritual things and start incorporating and developing behavior that is aligned with the energies and the entities that we'd like to attract to back us up, in our lives, then every area of our life is touched. For instance, you might just do one lifestyle change and it goes and affects a completely different area of your life that you didn't think was linked to that thing or behavior that you were doing. That is how powerful this step or phase of your spiritual journey is. And this is one area that I would say it's a very important area, and it is required. It is an inevitable thing that to happen when you are embarking on your spiritual journey. It is not one that is very easy though, because we have done certain things for so long, and these things that we are doing and we keep doing in our lives that bring us pleasure, but they may not necessarily be good or bring about the good results, the positive results that we want in our lives. It is not easy to suddenly say, I no longer wish to do this. I am deciding that I will stop, and you immediately stop. Yes, for some other things it will happen like that, but not for all things. But what I will not recommend though is for anybody to force themselves into, now all of a sudden you're trying so hard not to do certain things, because you are going to get tired of that. You are going to grow so tired, and you are going to go back heavily to things that you had to stop doing. It's short-lived. And when you're aiming to do something and incorporate something for your whole life to keep on doing till you die, it has to be effortless. It has to come from within. It have to seamlessly do it, and Yes, at first that will be challenging, but when you gain understanding, when you have the knowledge, when then that to make that decision becomes very easy. And when you gain knowledge, the deeper knowledge on the spirituality of the things and behaviors and the lifestyle, listen, it changes your whole decision making process. You no longer, you find yourself and you no longer find pleasure in certain things that used to bring you pleasure. Because, guys, some of the things that we do in our lives and entertain in our lives, they attract certain energies that are not positive and that come and frustrate our lives. And when we start doing and adjusting our lifestyles to align with our purposes, to align with the positive and the light forces, entities that we want to operate and those we honor in our lives, then we see the light and the positive things start happening in our lives without having anyone even pray for you. That is how powerful it is to have lifestyle changes. Without some things, they just stop because you are no longer feeding them anything, and they stop functioning in our lives. They no longer have that power that they used to have over our lives, you know. So I will say, what can I say to somebody who's sitting and watching this but doesn't know where to gain the information? Listen, trust your instincts. When you keep on doing something and you feel uncomfortable, or rather not uncomfortable, but you don't feel so good about yourself after doing that, that's a sign. Just take that as a sign that, ish, I really feel bad for doing this. Yes, I found pleasure for 5 minutes, but now the guilt, ndinomva iyanditrapa man yabo, like, yes, I can't live like this anymore, you know. Because what helped me stop certain things that I used to find pleasurable was gaining knowledge, was gaining understanding, and lived experiences. So what do I mean by that? There are some things that when I gained understanding and knowledge, I woke up and I just realized, oh my gosh, I stopped doing certain things. I stopped doing ABC. And then there are those things, even though I have the knowledge, I still enjoyed doing. You know, I enjoyed doing them, and it took me a very long time to say, hold up, this can't go on. And I experienced immediate negative consequences of the way I was living with regards to certain areas of my life. And that helped me to say, no, I can't live like this. I can't keep doing the same thing that I know will just bring havoc into my life. And that is what really helped me. So making and adjusting and having the necessary lifestyle changes made me consciously aware of what behaviors and what things that I do that bring about certain energies in my life. And when I do certain things, I can see, yes, I'm moving positively and I have, power. But when I do certain things, what can I say? Not, there's a delay, there's a some areas are becoming more stagnant, and I'm just going down the wrong road. The wrong road. I kill myself. But man, you notice these things in our life, but some of them we just ignore. And that is when, because now you're not aware, you just ignore, you don't pay attention to that. But making the necessary lifestyle changes is very important. It is so crucial for your journey, for your spiritual journey. There is no way that you are saying you are embarking on a journey and you don't make these lifestyle changes. Lifestyle will not be the same for everybody, because spirituality is a personal experience. Yes, there will be shared principles and certain foundations, but it will not be directly the same to the T with everybody else. For example, there are entities of light, energies of light and positiveness. They require us to live a certain way, to honor, so that they can also be able to operate in our lives. And then there are, because remember, there's a good side to spirituality and there's a bad side to spirituality. Then there are those dark entities. And if you want those entities to operate and have more power in your life, there's a certain way and certain things that you will have to do, adapt to a certain lifestyle. Ne? So it will not be the same. Even within those of light, those who are called, remember, and then those just belong there, but they don't have those special callings. Now when I'm Elia, those ones will have their own special things that they will do. I mean, some people say that they don't eat certain foods, but you find that somebody else has no problem with that and they just fine, darling, like everything is all right, because we're not the same and we are not called the same way, but as long as it's still pure, it's still positive, it's of light, it's of good energies, it will attract the same good and positive energies, the things you do. There will be a positive energy from that. And you can also learn, we can learn from each other. If something is positive and it's good, we can take that and incorporate it into our lives, because it will yield good results. Trust me, it yields good, positive results. So now to share my, maybe like one thing when I mean, what do I mean about lifestyle changes and adapting. For instance, before I started embarking on my spiritual journey, I mean, like I'm a young, fresh thing, but I am though. So I was out there. I enjoyed going to clubs. I enjoyed going to groove fun spaces. And when I started embarking on my spiritual journey, that stopped for me. That was no longer what I found pleasure in, And did it happen overnight? No, it did not happen overnight. But when I started gaining the knowledge, the deeper understanding about the spiritual thing that happens in those spaces, I'm not saying it is bad, you guys. No, please don't hear me wrong. I'm not saying people should now stop going to clubs. They should stop going kwa mai mai. I'm just but I'm sharing my experience, for me, it's not good for me necessarily brings about or positive energy, attracts positive energy for me. So that had to come to an end for me. Else they might go and they might not have any problems with that. But now when I kept doing that, I saw good to know, darling, I'm going down the wrong road. Definitely going down the wrong road. And that was not good for my path. Like, no. Guys, I had to stop. Please. I know izinto. I know the things that we do sometimes. Zimnandi, but hey, they really do damage our lives. The way we move, like you might think it's a small gossip, but spiritually it has great damage. It will cause you great damage. And sometimes you may not necessarily feel it now, but it's hindering your growth spiritually. You see? So, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye.